All right, today I'm going to be going over the Power Probe. They make quite a few different sets that have different things in them, but this is we'll just call it the 3-lead set. There's the number on it, but I'll get the case opened up and show you guys all what's in here. So I would say this is like a basic kit that they offer. It kind of gives you everything you need to do basic electrical diagnosis. This is the main Power Probe, you could say. Then you got your leads here. Comes with kind of your main lead that has battery clips on it. So these are what goes on your battery. You can actually disconnect this and plug in this extra lead here. If you know you're plugging it into the battery on the front of the truck and you got to go all the way to the back, you need more cable. That's what this is for. I haven't had to use it yet, but you got that, some extra adapters and things like that. This here, if you're plugging it into your cigarette lighter, that's what this is for. These here are actually really nice. So if you're probing a wire, instead of taking your pocket knife and you know cutting away at the insulation and making a bigger hole, you can unscrew this here and you'll slip this end over your wire. And then when you screw this back on, there's a little pin that's covered up by that piece there, so you don't stab yourself. But when you screw that down, it's gonna poke that wire for you. And this is gonna plug on to the end Power Probe. Just like that. So that's kind of just a quick overview of what comes in the case. I'm gonna go ahead and hook this up and kind of show you guys why this thing is so handy. I guess got a battery here for showing purposes. So you plug it on, this is gonna power up. Now, basic functions of this, it's pretty simple. This is your sound button, so you can hit that. You're not gonna hear the beep. When it's on, it's gonna beep like that, okay? So most of the time, you're gonna be using this, which is, I'm gonna call it like the main lead or whatever. This plugs on, get it here with one hand, just like that. So now, let's say you have a light, like this one. You don't know if it's bad. And this is just this testing purposes here, but this cable is attached to the Power Probe. This is a ground, so anytime you need to ground something when you're testing it, you can clip this on your ground and it's gonna go and ground through your battery, right? Pull this back here. I got this pulled back. It's hard to do with one hand, but so let's say you got a light on your truck and it's not coming on. You don't know if the light's bad or if it's on the other side of the light and you have some power or ground issues. Well, what you want to do, you want to test your light, right? So you're going to clip your ground on your ground wire, and then your Power Probe here, you can see positive, negative. So you push up, that's going to send battery voltage to whatever you're testing. And then if you need to ground something, hold that down, it's going to ground it. There also is a circuit breaker, you could call it here. So if you hit something wrong and it back feeds or whatever, it'll kick this out. It takes a few seconds and it'll click back in on its own. So, but let's say you're testing your light here. I'm gonna try to do this with one hand. Here's your power wire. I got the ground hooked up. I'm gonna turn this off so that it gets annoying sometimes if you're using it a lot. You can just do that. Your light's working. And this kind of beats a test light by a long shot, because in a way, this kind of acts as a multimeter, because it does give you a reading on here of what the voltage is. If this was only like 6 volts or whatever in here, it would show 6 volts. But also, this way, you have a known good ground. Sometimes if you're working on an old vehicle and it's really rusty, it can be hard to know for sure if if the ground that you are on is actually making good contact. So anytime I have an electrical problem with lights or anything like that, I pull this thing out. This is probably the #1 thing that I use when it comes to an electrical problem, because you can probe wires really easily with these. You know, you can plug it into the cigarette lighter if you have to. You got plenty of cable. You don't have to make your own jumper wires. And it's an ease of use thing. And honestly, in my opinion, if you're a mechanic, then, you know, this is something that you should have in your toolbox for sure. Okay, so it was a pretty generic review, or just a really quick way to show you guys what this thing can do. But I mean, I'm sure you can think about all the applications that this can be used for. I mean, really, I use it for lights most of the time. But, you know, if you got a light that's bad and you don't know if it's the plug or if it's the wires between the plug and the light, or if it's the wires going into the plug on the backside, or if it's the wires from the plug on the backside back, you know, it can be, when you're trying to track it down, you know, you want to have a good tool that makes the job quicker and easier to do. And this way, you know, you can unplug your light, power your light, okay, light comes on, and then you can ground. I don't have a plug here, but let's just say this is your plug. This is the ground side of your plug or whatever. You can ground your plug on one terminal and then put your power probe in on your other terminal with the lights on. And then you can read right here how much voltage you're getting to the plug on the backside, or if you're getting any at all. So in essence, like I said before, if you're a mechanic and you do electrical repair and electrical diagnosis, then this is for you. I've used these for a long time. This is a newer one that I just bought, so it doesn't look like I've used it a whole bunch, but I also take care of my tools. But this is a must-have. And you can go on PowerProbe's website, and they got all kinds of stuff on there. I mean, you can spend a lot of money on these kinds of tools, and you know, if you use it a lot, then it's worth it. But yeah, this was really simple, but you get the idea. You can figure out, you know, all the applications that this can be used for. All right, guys, that wraps it up. Just a little short demo of this power probe. Here is the number on this specific kit if you're interested. Thanks for watching. This is just a quick review kind of deal. But if you like what you saw today, if you could subscribe to the channel. I'll be putting more stuff out like this. Like the video and comment. Tell me what you thought, any questions you have, or what you'd like to see next. So that about wraps it up. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.